Where's password?
This actually could look good.
Yeah, they need like a halftime camera on
Under the Friday night lights of Stadium Field, DAF Media presents boys varsity soccer, and it's a massive game in the FCAC East title races. Ridgefield, the current leaders, on the road tonight against a Blue Wave team that with a win would propel them to the top of the table. Well, what a treat this is. Jay Alter alongside two former captains, Lewis Clark, Eric Hannigan. Fellas, I was looking at the yearbook 10 years ago. You were in a very similar title race, the fall of 2011. Here we are 10 years later. Darien in a very similar position with a win tonight. They would take control of the top of the FCAC East table.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction, Jay. I had to get my calculator out before this game just to see how many years it's been since we were on the field. And a lot has changed with the program in terms of facilities and obviously players since we were out there. But it's always fun in the fall. The weather's great tonight, around 70, so it should be a good one.
I mean, you said it, two big teams going up against each other. They're really fighting for that top spot at the moment. And always a big one underneath the lights. So excited to watch this one play out. I think we're going to have a great show on our hands here.
Great to be underway. Ridgefield in white and orange, the road team. Darien in blue and black. A little Inter Milan throwback kit for the home team Blue Wave tonight. You two were captains for this team. How do you get a team juiced up for a game like this?
I think, as hard as it is to say, I think a lot of it's done by the environment. For a night game like this, a lot of it already comes naturally. But again, a lot of it also comes with the captains and the pregame speech. And I think they know the gravity of the situation based on the standings and where these teams sit. So a lot of it's done for them. But again, it's the atmosphere, and hopefully the fans play a role.
Yeah, and fantastic environment here tonight. Obviously, the music is obviously a great addition too. We didn't have that, back when we were playing, but definitely a great way to get everybody jazzed as well. Obviously, a huge occasion.
Man, you're making it sound like we didn't have cell phones 10 years ago. Now,
it feels like it.
This is a delight to be back. I actually looked up the standings. You guys won FCAC East in 2011, the first time Darien had done it in quite a while. And John Bradley, that was his first season. His kind of first voyage on the men's side after he had been the girls' coach for quite a while. And really, he's kicked on, and instead of it being an irregularity that Darien's at the top of the FCAC table, they're usually competing for it each and every year.
I think a lot of it comes down to the environment that the team really creates. And, if a team does well one season, you get more kids at the youth level, which John Bradley's involved in, getting involved in the programs and starting to play more. And, it's funny to see John 10 years later. He's still in his throne on the sidelines. He is running the show, and he was such a great coach for us.
Early opportunity for the Blue Wave, a high press. Ridgefield caused a turnover and now conceded a corner. Early opportunity for Darien, Lewis.
Well, and you know what John was also so great at was building that camaraderie and keeping that team bond strong, which is obviously key. But early opportunity here for Darien, so it'll be interesting to see if they can capitalize.
He told us they were practicing set pieces all week, and Darien cashes in. Beautiful ball played in by Trevor Pegg. Just floated it into the box, and just like that, Darien draws first blood.
Looks like it was Matt Reynolds with the header, and really, Kennedy.
What a tremendous start, though, for the Blue Wave. You really can't beat that first attack right off the rip and taking that lead. It's going to definitely calm a few nerves on a big night like this.
The junior, James Kennedy, put his full face into that one. And just like that, it's 1-0 in a game that, again, if Darien wins tonight, they go top of the FCAC East table. As it stands, it's Ridgefield 24, Fairfield Ward 23, Darien 22, but 3 crucial points up for grabs for the Blue Wave. And what a great start, Lewis. You just said it. You're under the lights, you get a set piece, and you put it in the back of the net.
And you got to take those opportunities early. You can't let those pass you by. So the Blue Wave off to a really great start here, starting on the front foot as well, which we love to see.
I think from Ridgepoint's standpoint, the number one rule here is don't panic. You go down 1 goal, and you really just don't want to get rattled by that. very early goal can set the scene, but Ridgefield needs to stay composed if they want this to be a balanced game.
Here's another opportunity for the Blue Wave. Billy Brockett controls it, the lone striker tonight. Reverses field and offside called. Darien scored in the opening 3 minutes of this game. We haven't even talked about the formations. The Blue Wave deploying a 4-4-2, but one of those top two strikers is Owen Comey, and he's been used tonight, John Bradley told us, is really a rover, a man marker on one of the most talented players of the FCAC, Ridgefield's number 7, Fisher Mills. What do you make of that tactic from JB tonight?
Well, I think it's one of those where I think it's smart to start the game. I think you got to see if you are able to shut him down. With such a great player like that, you really do have to be sticking close, but also just monitor if he's going to be able to still get into these key positions for Ridgefield. And, you know, as John does so well, adjust tactics on the fly as well.
Well, and Lewis, I know you're a big proponent of the 4-4-2 flat. How do you think that'll come into play tonight?
No, I mean, I think you can never go wrong with the 4-4-2 flat. It's you know, it's a tried and tested formula that teams usually do trot out, and I do think that it's one that he's played for a while. I think John is always great at not complicating things too much with formations. I think that can be a mistake that some coaches make, but glad to see him go with it again today, and clearly having that floater is gonna help, and I'll be interested to see how that plays out.
Well, what's interesting, and I think it's trademark for one of John Bradley's teams, is you see about a 10-yard gap between the midfield and the forwards. Forwards really just running around chasing the ball, but it's John's kind of pragmatic approach where he wants to make sure he's not giving away those counter possessions.
Well, the back line being asked a question for the first time tonight, and hey, that's a John Bradley team right there, just booted off the back line. Don't give the opposition any opportunity when it gets close inside the box.
Well, these ones can be tricky too, because if you got a guy with a long throw like we had our senior year, Elliot Helgens, I mean, you can really launch these for a corner kick essentially.
Oh, and this guy's throwing it from Timbuktu.
William
Decent
Harford,
throw.
He's got a cannon into the box. Lehan off his line, and he makes the comfortable save. I feel like Will Lehan's been in the mix for a while.
Yeah, we've been calling games over the, one every year pretty much, and that's a familiar face on the team sheet.
I feel like it's his 5th year.
Well,
every year we've been doing it, he seems to be the comfortable keeper for Darien.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And really, that's where you want that solid presence on the field. Again, he is the last line of defense, really can see the entire field, and hopefully if he's vocal enough can shout out positioning to his defenders.
There's a 6th grader in the Darien youth pipeline in goal, Declan Keating, that you're going to want to keep an eye on.
I've heard great stuff. Great stuff.
He'll have big shoes to fill with Lehan, though. And this is kind of the perfect setup. I mean, you guys played for John Bradley, and if he can get that early goal, his teams are so good at just holding the line.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
Take us through what's the key to that? I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, they always do it. Why?
I think it's the team. I think it's the camaraderie that we all had in a John Bradley team, and the stressing the communication piece of things. I think that we all were just rallying together, and the more that we were communicating and on the same page in one team, I think we all just were instilled that belief that once we got one, we were going to win this game.
Isn't it funny, Eric? You mentioned, Lewis says, oh, it's the camaraderie. Well, the players change every year, and yet it does seem the camaraderie, the tactics, kind of the motivation stay the same.
Yeah, I think that plays into it, and I'd probably say that plays into it slightly less. John Bradley's a simple man, and that's not in a bad way. He just wants the ball out and up the field. Once you're up, you pretty much have one job: no sloppy mistakes and get the ball punted upfield. It's not the prettiest, but he knows how to win, as he's proven. So I think that hand in hand with Lewis's camaraderie really plays well.
It's in soccer, everyone says, well, it's the beautiful game. People that quote unquote park the bus or play a form of hoofball, it's not appreciated, but
I think it's an art.
Yeah, it's an art that John Bradley has certainly mastered in the FCAC. Multiple-time FCAC Coach of the Year, trying to eye another FCAC East championship. If the Blue Wave can hold on to this 1-0 lead, they'd move above Ridgefield and take top of the table, be up by 1 point, 25 to 24. You know, Ridgefield, you got to be thinking, okay, we're down, but if we can nick a goal back and get out of here with a draw, you stay top of the table.
And they seem to be settling in here a bit as well, and starting to get and keep the ball in the attacking third.
Did Darien get a touch there?
They did. I think that's called for a corner.
Now we saw Darien score on their first corner attempt. Now Ridgefield with an opportunity to return serve. And this is Fisher Mills, who John Bradley, Darien's head coach, said is one of the best players in the FCAC. Really nice ball in. Lehan did a nice job to paw that away.
Yeah, he's been playing well so far. I've kind of noticed that he has been, he's been needing to drag himself out wider in order to receive the ball. You saw in the attacking third just earlier there, but just isolated. And I think when they're having to drag him out of position, I think that's where Darien Blue is going to see the success. But talented player, and he's going to find that space.
He's on the ball now. Double team immediately comes in, trying to hold up play and then boot it away. You're going to see that. Almost like a time lapse, just over and over again, booting it off the Darien back line. Obviously you want the early lead, and Darien well deserved to get it, but could it be scoring too early that you start defending so early in the game? It's a lot of time that you got to keep the ball out of the back of the net. You got to stay aggressive, right?
It could be, but I think the fact that they scored from the set piece says a lot. I mean, you take your chances, and from that, scoring's the hard part, in my opinion. I think defending is challenging in its own way, as we see an interesting attack here.
Here's Matthew Kennedy. His brother James Kennedy opened the scoring earlier in this half. A ton of contact still being fought for. Trying to drive through a double team. Trevor Pegg, who assisted the opening goal, finally loses possession, and now Ridgefield on the counterattack. Settled down with Nicholas Pelez.
You see some good dribbling and touches from the Ridgefield midfield there in close, confined spaces, as Darien does well to get that ball back out. And Bronca with the unenviable role here of chasing the ball down on his own.
Well, it's the 4-4, really 1-1 with the Owen Comey being the man marker, and that puts Billy Bronca on kind of an island.
It does, and I think, he's there for a reason. I've seen that kid can run, and he has the stamina to do so, as you see him just going back and forth across the pitch.
Yeah, and what's also key with him is, he certainly looks like he can hold up the ball well, strong player, and that's also what you want when you have that isolated striker, to be able to hold the ball, wait for people to get up, distribute, and keep the ball in that attacking third.
Lewis, it's got to be a treat for you tonight to watch two really quality soccer teams. You being a Manchester United fan, you don't get a lot of that.
No, not too often, but we believe with Ronaldo back.
I don't know.
He's no Billy Bronca.
Ole's at the wheel. Nothing's guaranteed.
No, the real number 7 might be Fisher Mills here. So we'll have to see.
Darien's done a nice job to try and keep Mills off the ball. Calling for it here, and he gets it. So now Fisher Mills with that double team immediately coming in. Talk about having a game plan and executing it.
Absolutely. As soon as he got the ball, there was somebody right on him, and again, just not able to get the time and the space.
Did you guys have a man marker 10 years ago?
I feel like we had maybe 2 or 3. I know Marcus Iqbal got the duties against Bunnell.
Nick Vilter famously was able to hold back Keith Bond, a very, very strong player, and Nick was able to come in and do the job.
Any relation to James Bond?
We may find out tonight.
Yeah.
Kevin Steinthal, too. I feel like he had kind of a drifter role.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Well, hear it. So,
does it feel like 10 years ago, guys, that you were competing for an FCAC East title?
No. I don't know. Maybe 10's a long time. It probably feels shorter than that, but You know, coming back out here is always fun. Again, we didn't get to play under the lights in the stadium as we have a great attack here.
Matthew Kennedy one-on-one with the keeper, and that should be a penalty. Did the keeper get a piece of that? Might have to take a replay. Here it is. You be the judge.
Oh, he just got there.
Looks like the keeper got there, yeah.
All right, so it shouldn't be a penalty. I stand corrected.
Technicalities.
Oh, whizzing by the box. 2 opportunities to put it in the back of the net. John Bradley with his hands over his eyes. And now Ridgefield launching into a counterattack. Let's see what the Tigers can do in transition.
Well, this is where they're going to have to catch Darien, and again, it slowed up. I think that they needed to keep carrying that ball further and quicker, catch Darien out of position because their positioning's just been so strong. It's going to take something to really break them down.
I feel like in watching Ridgefield, it's a bit of deja vu. You see players who are really good at holding the ball, and that's not Darien's concern right now. They're really just looking, as we see an instant replay. Oh, as it slides past 2 of Darien's attackers. Great save.
Will Lehan, confident in cage. When you've got a 1-goal lead and Will Lehan in between the pipes, you give yourself a really good opportunity to get all 3 points. Will Darien rue those 2 missed opportunities? First it was Matthew Kennedy one-on-one with the keeper. Keeper just got there inches ahead of what could have been a Kennedy goal or a penalty. And then Darien, 2 opportunities in the box and just could not cash in.
It was a great ball across the box. That's really the danger area and where you want to place it in terms of the depth and the distance away from the goalkeeper. But unfortunately, the Darien attackers just weren't anticipating that, as Ridgefield have a chance to reset here.
Darien can't clear it off the midfield. Plenty of speed off the back line. That's Gaurav Parwal. John Bradley said we can just call him Stud. Said he's one of the best defenders in the FCX. Certainly showed the pace on that clearance.
Absolutely. He's looked really solid tonight. And looking forward to seeing him continue to hold it down to the back.
That's a great tackle.
Another opportunity. Ridgefield keeper off his line. Nobody there to poke it in. Somebody's got to get into the box for Darien.
Yeah, just wide, but
replay
great
here.
effort.
I think he let the ball get away with it. Let the ball get away from him, rather, on his first touch there. And I think it was more of a shot come cross.
I will say credit the Ridgefield goalie, because twice now he has put Darien in an uncomfortable position, which should have been one-on-one, and neither player has gotten a shot off.
Yeah, he's really putting Darien under pressure. He doesn't really let them breathe. It's kind of a bit of a Manuel Neuer move, really hot off his line.
It amazes me. Here we are. You hear the parents in the stands revved up as Lehan makes a great diving save low. Take another look at this. Wow.
It's a great shot and a great save. I think that was Peleas.
Lehan punches it away again. Well, they're piling on the pressure now, Ridgefield. They've gotten the momentum, but Lehan has kept it out.
Absolutely. They've had a really great spell here. It's just going to be interesting to see if they can capitalize.
Lehan's looking like the glitched goalkeepers in the latest FIFA. FIFA 22 is all about the goalies.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, neither would our dear friend Jonathan Gill. Ridgefield in trouble in the corner.
Oh, what a move.
Oh, this is beautiful. Could it lead to a goal? Lehan says no again. He's everywhere. A cat off his line with the reflexes.
The cat, a nickname my father once had for his attempts in net, so I appreciate the shout out there.
Now a proud owner of a cat.
Absolutely. Valley, great cat.
Darien looking for a spell of possession here. Oh, called offside.
Oh, and we get the replay. That's a snatch and grab.
Have they eliminated linesmen at high school, or they never had them?
It's always been 2, and I find it really interesting because I believe it was the far side referee who made that call there, and he's 40 yards away.
I thought he was onside.
And again, in the professional leagues, the linesman is right in line with the last defender, so that even then it's difficult to call offsides.
And it looks like they're bringing in a little bit of an aerial threat, Ridgefield here. Number 27, David Ryan. And here he comes.
Yeah, he's got some height.
Guys, that could remind you of anybody?
Height?
3?
Well, it looks a bit like Marwan Fellaini.
It does. It's a great call, Lewis.
The hair.
The afro, yeah.
Maybe he's going to nod one in tonight.
Ginger Fellaini. Here's Billy Bronca. Man, he just runs that ball down endlessly, huh?
I think Billy actually got subbed off. Number 3.
George Childs, the sophomore, giving Billy Bronca a blow on the bench. Well, when you ask your lone striker to run for pretty much the entire game, it's good to find a spell where you can sub out of the game.
Absolutely.
Eric, you're in charge of subs the rest of the way, by the way. Foul in the midfield, no card shown.
Hey.
Student section.
A little quiet tonight. I'm just kidding. They're making a lot of noise. They're doing well down there.
Hey guys, our code of conduct reminds us to cheer for our team and not root against the other.
I was going to say, it's with the Friday night lights on. Parents are loud, student section's loud. You're almost a little envious, I'll be honest. These are the games you guys, I know you very well. You guys would have lived for this stuff.
Yeah, it'd be great to be out there. I think, if I moved out there right now, I'd probably last about 2 minutes running. So maybe it's better to be watching from up here. But, no, it is. I mean, these are the games you always live for. When we played, it was always away games when we had the night. But now we're fortunate enough to have a stadium with lights, so it's really great for the kids.
Ball into the box, poked away, and that's a goal kick.
Well, and hopefully this gives the Blue Wave an opportunity to get a little bit higher up the field, have the strikers really stretch the line here, because they really have been pinned back and having to absorb so much pressure. You really can only do that for so long. I mean, it's a team that does it so well, but you really do want to give your defenders a break and start to control the ball a little bit more higher up the field.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And honestly, Lehan has been so impressive there. Goal kick starts this whole attack. Bang off the knee, unfortunately.
He's got the wheels.
Yeah, I think that injury really slowed things down for Ridgefield. They're taking their time here. But some very good play in the midfields.
Would you say Ridgefield's taken kind of control of this game the last 10 minutes?
Absolutely. I think that they've certainly held the ball well. The passing has been strong, and as I say that, curse of the commentator, it flies by him, but they've been controlling the game, looking well in that attacking third. And it's only, you get the sense that it's only a matter of time now, and that Darien are going to look to try and get more on the front foot to avoid that.
Again, Darien scored in the opening 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this game. So that means 77 minutes of holding the line. And I know you guys did plenty of that in your day playing for John Bradley. His first season, it was a lot of kind of smash and grab, if you will. But it's a lot to ask of the young legs of these players against a really talented Ridgefield team. Again, the Tigers come into tonight, the top team in the FCAC East. Darien 2 points behind Ridgefield. So with a win, they would move top of the table. plenty of implications on what has been a fantastic fall Friday night under the lights of Stadium Field. Opportunity for Ridgefield, tangled up and dispossessed. Here comes the blue wave, breaking on the counterattack. This is Matthew Kennedy, keeps it in play. Eyeing up a cross and he can't center it. Right in between the goalposts and the soccer net.
Something the Minnesota Vikings struggle to do.
Our little fan cam.
The innovations with the technology of DAF Media have just been tremendous. I mean, you guys, everybody saw the open, the overheads, the drones. I mean,
that was awesome.
It's really something special.
Credit Damian Andrew and this all student staff, all Darien High School students on the broadcast tonight, except for the old fogies on the mic. 2012 grads, 2 captains, Lewis Clark and Eric Cannigan. What does Darien need to do to kind of grab hold of this game like they had in the opening 10 minutes?
Get stuck in. I think that's the answer. They really just got to put the tackles in, get the ball up the field. Again, we saw a great through ball. I might have missed who sent it, but it was to Matthew Kennedy on the left wing and really just perfectly placed. And I think they just got to keep doing that.
You know, I made reference earlier to Darien wearing kits that are very similar to Inter Milan, and the through balls going through it kind of reminds me of Barella, who just won the Euro over England with Italy.
It's weird. I was thinking the same thing.
One of the best midfielders of the world right now. Take me through, Eric, as a guy who played a couple of through balls in his day, the art of picking the right pass.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of difficult to use the Serie A as a standard because I think it's a little bit less of a league.
Correct,
than
the
Premier
FCAC.
League.
Well,
Right,
and the FCAC, yeah.
No, but from a through ball perspective, it's really all about weight of pass, and we might see one here.
Instead, Trevor Pegg deciding to take it himself, now off to Kennedy. Trevor Pegg and Matthew Kennedy have a great rapport kind of on this near side flank. Would there be a player, Lewis, that you kind of always look to on the field? Okay, I kind of know where this guy's going to be. He's my safety blanket, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always that comfort player, the guy you rely on. I mean, most of the time you are looking towards your captain. You know, the benefit in high school is that you do have 3 or 4 to be able to look to in those moments. So it is nice to have those, but you know, the best players have to be creative, head up, and be looking on the fly to be able to find the right pass, even if it might not be that guy who you're typically going to.
Fisher Mills evades a triple team and plays a beautiful crossfield ball. We haven't seen a lot of Fisher Mills, but John Bradley telling us he's one of the best, if not the best player in the FCAC.
Yeah, he's been impressive tonight, but if I'm being honest, Pelaez, his number 11 for Ridgefield, has really impressed me. His composure on the ball, his first touch, and just his close quarters dribbling is, for this age, is something special. Reminds me a little of Lukaku's first touch. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we all know how that one goes.
Ridgefield with a long throw here.
Headed clear. And Darien's got to be thinking to themselves, can we just get to halftime with this 1-0 lead and reset? Because Ridgefield continues to pile on the pressure. Another through ball. Bronca trying to chase it down. Plenty of pace. Can he get there? No. Inches away.
Some risky play from the goalkeeper there, letting the ball run across his body. You know, but Billy Bronco almost getting there.
Darien's had the more clear-cut chances kind of on those through balls, on those counterattacks. I'd say that's the third opportunity in this first half where the goalie's been well off his line in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, and Ridgefield's done well, specifically the goalkeeper, to only really let one by off a set piece so far. But you're right, Darien really with some dangerous chances as Ridgefield on the attack here. Great dribbling inside.
Fisher Mills dispossessed.
Oh.
Yeah, all night long.
And here's where Billy holds it up top.
Shades of
As he does
Alexander
so well.
Mitrovic.
Yeah.
and draws the free kick.
Yeah, that's good target man play. Has his back to the defender, is able to keep the ball and take the foul there. And now Darien again scored off a set piece. They've won another one.
This is exactly right where they want it.
So John Bradley said, we practice set pieces all week. They scored off their first one. Here's another from the 21-yard line, whipped in, headed out. And now Ridgefield will look to break.
Great tackle there.
Gaurav Parwal, he's been tremendous at center back. Now going to launch into attack. What does Parwal have to offer? Dangerous ball. No one could get on the end of it for Darien.
And that's the second time that's happened. You really need that striker's instinct. It would have been a huge opportunity for Billy to put it in the back of the net.
How about Parwal as a center back? He's like all over the field.
Yeah, well,
he's been really impressive.
Yeah, you have those sort of players who just are able to play anywhere on the pitch, really. And it seems like his best position is down at the back, but he can also get forward and attack as well, which is just a great quality to have.
Four for 5, Drew Blackman in the game.
John Bradley's always really good with the rotation, the subs, making sure if his team is going to be under pressure, forced to defend for much of this game, always have fresh legs on the field.
Yeah, and I think that he's also taking into account and considering just player rotation in general. You know, making sure that everybody's getting on the field, everybody's having a good time, and feeling a part of the team.
Great tackle. That's Trevor Pegg again. He's been an engine in the midfield. Now calling for the ball. Off the foot of Pegg. And now bounce the other way.
Ridgefield again showing some good possession in midfield, but Darien just not letting up on defense.
Hold the line. Hold that line. Bend, don't break. What would John Bradley yell during a game when it's just defend mode? You're trying to protect that 1-goal lead.
I don't think I'm allowed to say it on air right now, but
I suppose we're not on national television.
This is
No FCC.
There's no rules.
no, but so
Can I get a clarification?
I think a lot of it was, what are you doing, or get the ball out, or
He's actually out of his chair right now, which is like seeing, you know.
Yeah, it's discomforting.
1, back in. Yeah, I don't know. Ridgefield, they had some good possession in midfield, but they really haven't had any decent chances. That's a great touch. And again,
that is a heck of a hoof.
That is a Elliot Helgen's hoof if I've ever seen one.
And Bronca just on him right away. It's something special.
Who's like the best comparison for a true lone striker? Because at this point, it's like a 4-5-1. Who's like just totally isolated for the entire game? Because that's what Billy Bronca is tonight. You can write in, by the way, if you're watching on DAF Media on YouTube. Interact with us. This is for you folks. So, if you have a suggestion.
Well, I was about to make the comparison, and I don't think this answers your question, but I see a lot of Spencer McMullen and Billy Bronca.
No, I meant like a.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Professional.
Comparable. Hey, he was a professional.
Spencer McMullen was
no, but in terms of really chasing down balls, he was the outlet pass and.
Okay, well, that was not at all what I was looking for.
How about a Dries Mertens? You know?
Yeah, at least that's a professional.
Great turn.
Dangerous ball, controlled again. Chase Caruso gets it out of it. I mean, you have to laugh, but this is the tactic. I mean, there's no shame in just parking the bus and hoofing it up. Because remember, this is about getting 3 points if Darien beats Ridgefield tonight, holds on to this 1-0 lead, they go top of FCAC East from 22 points to 25. Ridgefield right now at the top with 24. So I don't care how many times you've got to hoof it. Just hold on to the 3 points, right?
3 points is all that matters, and that's clearly what they're out here to do tonight.
It's more than 1, and it's more than 0. And let's just remember, John Bradley was the coach who said if he coached basketball, he would get up by 2 and pass the ball around for the rest of the game, because in high school there's no shot clock. So bit of a rough challenge there. Getting stuck in. Ridgefield's have about a 35-yarder.
So do you think he's going to line up a shot here, or you think he's going to, give a little bit of a chip into the box? What are you thinking?
Oh, I just saw how he looked at that ball. That's going straight at the net.
No, I think you're going to try and get Fisher Mills on it. Number 7, you see him there lurking there right on the 5-yard line. I think you try and get the ball to Fisher Mills.
All right, well, we're going to find out.
Hey, if this kid makes it from here, that is check Tiote quality.
Oh
No,
my.
plays
We
it
were all
off.
Here's
Here's Mills. Dispossessed. Sent back in. Darien's got to get it out, and they do. 5:50 remaining in this first half.
Substitution 20 for 27. Jonathan Dowding in the game for Ridgefield.
Yeah, Lewis, if you had to pick a word to describe the half so far, what would you go with?
Matt Kennedy and Kai Starr.
Dominated, but again, it doesn't matter. Dominated by Ridgefield. I say they've had the bulk of the possession. They've had a lot of chances, but not really strong chances.
Here's a counterattack opportunity. 5-on-4. Blue Wave has numbers. Can't do anything with it, though. To your point, Lewis, all Darien's possession opportunities have been on the counterattack.
Absolutely, and that's a clear strategic point, and it's worked for them so far, and I see no reason why they change it.
Yeah, I think bravo to the Darien players and how they performed this half.
Look, it is their tactics, but had they not scored on that corner kick so earlier in the game, I would agree with you, Lewis. This has kind of been one-way traffic tonight.
But I mean, that's the great thing about it is Ridgefield's defender could have gone top cheddar on his own net, and John wouldn't care.
Right.
I don't think he's looking for the wonder goals from Darien, as long as it goes in and they get the points.
This is
And we got a fire alarm.
yeah,
on the-
fire
on the
alarm
pitch.
inside the high school. Wow. All right, well, hopefully it's nothing serious. We'll keep you posted. What are the fans chanting?
I think it was I don't know.
Sounds similar to the old tick 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 boom dynamite. My personal favorite.
Where's Kath Alter?
Some
when you need her?
things never die.
I had a question about the tactics, and I misplaced my thought. Is Ridgefield? Oh, they're going to rue that chance. That's as good a look at the open cage as you're going to get against Darien, and Ridgefield missed the opportunity.
He really rose high there. Tough angle. Really just trying to get a glance on it at that point. You're not trying to put any strength on the ball, and just unfortunately too much in sailing over.
Darien continuing to just counterattack here. 3 minutes left to this first half. Blue Wave scored 2.5 minutes into this game off a corner. Trying to control all 3 points here. If they win this game, they will move top of the FCAC East title. Right now, 2 points behind Ridgefield, 24-22. As the high school has been evacuated. Is this the track team? I don't know.
They were
Our broadcast booth is getting crowded.
Yeah, and unfortunately, our producer looks like he's panicking a bit. Should never panic. Oh, there's a
field goal is up and good.
yeah. I thought Bradley's tactics have been good. I wouldn't call them red hot to start a fire alarm, but.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you about.
Tactics, back to the game.
Yeah, back to the. At what point do you not even look to counterattack? Is it truly just 11 behind the ball?
I think if, actually, minute 60, I think is when we'll see that.
I was going to say, wait, what do you call this?
True.
I mean,
Lehan, great save again.
That's right in the breadbasket. Looks comfortable.
Save Lehan.
Calm, cool, collected, as always from Lehan, and going to give it a nice boot here.
I was going to say, he's got a good leg on him, too. Ridgefield look a bit rattled, I have to say.
When you have a goalie like Lehan, it kind of gives you comfort. And, okay, we can kind of sit back, absorb pressure, and even if they do get a shot off, we have a goalie we feel like can make the save.
Yeah, it's, again, I think I said it earlier, it's the last line of defense, and as a defender, if you know that if you make a mistake and you have a goalie who's capable enough to make a good save, it makes your job a lot easier for sure.
Was there a game where you guys scored early and just kind of had to do this?
I think it was most of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
It wasn't just a few. Again, when we played at home, if we scored, I don't think we gave up goals to lose the game. So it's really one of John Bradley's best talents is getting his players to just do whatever it takes.
What does that say, Lewis, that 10 years later you had John Bradley as your coach in year one? Here we are literally a decade later. It's the same thing.
It's impressive, and the school has also continued to support him, support the facility, which you love to see. And I think above all else, the teams have been competitive, really competitive. But everybody's just having a really great time. So I think that's high school sports. That's part of it, right?
Final 15 seconds. And Darien is going to go into the first half controlling a 1-0 advantage. Does Ridgefield try and do anything differently in the second half to break down this stingy Blue Wave defense?
I think they need to be more organized in the midfields. They created some chances, but they really need to find those gaps against a really tight defense.
All right, 40 minutes down, 40 to go. Shout out to all of our great Darien Blue Wave students who have been manning the operations behind the scenes. And for 3 alums of 2012, this has been a lot of fun in the first half, and we'll be back with more commentary on DAF Media for the second half.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, in our town, on our fields. Fields like the Center Oval and Upper Oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England, all made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment, that makes Darien High School just the second school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents, parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there, as it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
All right, we are back. You just saw a look at the opening goal, and that's the only thing that separates Ridgefield and Darien. A third-minute corner kick smashed into the back of the net by James Kennedy. One more look, Eric.
Bang. I mean, he just really puts his head through that. Nothing. The keeper came off his line, but he kind of has to. It was a well-placed ball and well-placed header.
Olivier Giroux. The meaty forehead of James Kennedy. Lewis Clark, Eric Hannigan, Jay Alter with you, 2012 alumni of Darien High School. Lewis and Eric are former captains. When they won FCAC East 10 years ago, it was John Bradley's first year as head coach. He's now in year number 10, a decade later, trying to win FCAC East again. And if this result holds, the Blue Wave will move to the top of the table. Ridgefield 24 points entering tonight, Darien 22.
You know, just looking at the sideline, John hasn't really aged since we've seen him. I feel like he looks the same, which is a compliment to him. I mean, it's amazing. He's just, he's
the fountain of youth.
That's what I was about to say. He's the fountain of youth. We also talk a lot about how, like, this might seem like a while since we played. I can only imagine what it must be like for him to see us now and watch a lot of these kids come through.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be cool for him because, again, he sees a lot of these kids through the
Great save, Will Lehan. Continue your thought.
He sees a lot of the kids through the youth programs and sees them go through high school, and then if they come back after college, and you know, it's got to be really refreshing for him just to see how much they progress as people and players.
Corner kick for Ridgefield whizzed in. It's going to be Darien goal kick. So, you know, John Bradley hasn't changed. The tactics have not changed as Darien tries to play a little smash and grab tonight. They've got the goal. Now, what's the key to defending for 38 minutes?
I think you do a lot of the same that you were doing in the first half. I think they had the formula, which is to get the ball up the field. They have some really talented defenders, and again, they just want to apply the pressure with that first man, Billy Bronca, and keep the ball in Ridgefield's half as much as possible.
And I think we're going to see the subs become a really key part of this second half. The rotations of John Bradley, meticulous to make sure fresh legs are always on the field.
And you can't undervalue just communicate, and stay on the same page, stay with your man, and hold the line.
That does not bounce out for a corner, so it's going to be a throw-in for Darien.
It's interesting. Darien actually seemed to have a lot of players in the front half of the field here as we get our own studio cam, which is a nice improvement since last time.
And here you can see the men behind the mics.
the trio.
Tricker trio.
Bingo.
As Ridgefield's not really showing too much in the second half so far. Good crossfield ball, though. Almost a good touch. As Darien take the ball.
And we got some fans here trying to check out the booth.
Battling on.
I mean,
Trevor Pegg.
Lewis, I think it was maybe 1 minute after they showed you on camera, and you have your own fan club here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What grade are you guys in? Third grade?
Do you play with John Bradley?
Yeah, is this online?
It is.
It's online. Hey, is people hearing this?
Yes. You can go on YouTube and watch it on DAF Media.
How much time has it been? I need to go to that exact time. 30 seconds.
I think this fan group is a nice reminder that this production is brought to you by
the
DAF
people.
Media. Yeah.
A joint venture
This is broadcasting.
between the Darien Foundation, the Darien Athletic Foundation. And now, Darien, I asked you earlier, Eric, where does John Bradley go to 11 behind the ball? We may have our answer.
Sorry, I'm just overtaken by the electric crowd here tonight. Yeah, Darien seemed a little bit balanced right now. I think John likes to come out of the half showing some offensive moves as Ridgefield tries to dink one in there. But I'd give it maybe 15 minutes, and John will really try and hold it.
And here we got the fans. What a great showing tonight. You know, what we would have done to have this kind of crazy support. It's fantastic to see, and the bleachers are full on a
They've
big
been
night.
loud and proud all night long as that sails over way wide.
And it's good.
That does not count for 3 in soccer.
Looks almost like a bit of Chiesa out there, number 20.
So many Serie A references tonight.
Yeah, for an inferior league, it's interesting.
We appreciate everyone watching on YouTube as Darien tries to protect this 1-goal lead, 35 minutes away from going atop the FCAC East standings. Ridgefield came in looking for a win or a draw to stay at the top of the table. With a win, Darien moves up to number 1. And you feel like early on this game, the Blue Wave were the more motivated side. They grabbed that early goal, and now it's just been defend, defend, defend. Contact, no call. Fisher Mills, one of the best players in the FCAC, was calling for it. He's going to get back on the ball here. If he can keep it in play, he cannot.
You get the sense it's going to be a long half of defending for the Blue Wave.
It's a tall task against a really talented Ridgefield team. Long shot blocked away, pinballed around, and now Darien launches the counterattack. Matthew Kennedy, plenty of pace, runs it down, has a chance. Kennedy denied. That's what it's been for the Blue Wave. Defend, 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 and try and do a little smash and grab on the counterattack, and they almost grabbed the second goal.
Yeah, it's the weight of that ball going straight upfield, and Kennedy has so much pace and athleticism. Just missed that final ball. I'm not sure if that was a shot or a cross, but it was very close for Darien.
That's my dad, Ian Euchre in goal.
Just heard it. Ian Euchre over the speakers here, reminding me of the great chemistry teacher Philip Euchre.
Wow.
I wonder if he's still here.
It's crazy
No
how
chance.
these names come back, and
Great teacher, but it does send a little bit of a shiver down my spine. I was never
Physics was not your subject.
I was never that was never my thing.
I love this fan cam and sideline cam. I mean, we didn't even have our games broadcast. You had to settle for me coming with an old school
tripod.
camera, and you could see the highlights like 3 weeks later, and now we have live action right on the sideline.
yeah, I remember you actually ripped some DVDs for us of the highlight
You
footage.
still watch them.
All right, that was about 6 months ago.
Every Thanksgiving,
Yeah, exactly.
turkey and West Hill penalty.
Past the cranberry sauce.
Oh.
What a move here. Trevor Pegg spills
Oh!
it. 2-0. Billy Braca smashes it into the back of the net. Captain fantastic, and it's 2-0 Blue Wave.
It's unbelievable.
Absolute scenes at Darien High School.
I mean, if that's not a Lewis Clark FIFA goal, I don't know what is. The keeper spills it, and Billy Braca there to punch it through.
Let's go, Billy, I think they were saying down there. Great showing for Billy Braca.
Wow. So now you have a 2-goal cushion. It's gone perfectly to John Bradley's tactics. He really is a mastermind when it comes down to tactics in the FCAC. He knew that if they were going to play man for man, Ridgefield probably the more talented team on paper, but they have gotten the tactics spot on tonight.
Yeah, it just becomes frustrating if you're Ridgefields. It's swarm tactics from Darien. You have very talented players on the ball, but they have no time or space. and you're left getting frustrated. That leaves space open, and you get Billy Bronca just thumping it in.
It really does remind me of watching you guys 10 years ago. You know, just holding the line, picking your chances. If only you had a Billy Bronca to smash in the goals. Opportunity for Ridgefield. Lehan spills it. Does it cross the line?
Yeah, that's. I believe it'll be an offside call.
Oh my. Chaos in the box. Let's take another look.
Spills it there, but you'll see. Yeah, I mean, the
can't touch
Ridgefield
that
player
ball.
was in the net. It's got to be the ball in the net, not the player.
Well, and he can't touch that ball.
Yeah, correct. He's offside. So once he goes for it.
How about my guy, Gorav Parwal, a brick wall?
I mean, he just stuffs him. You bring goal line in, and I think it'd still be too close to call.
How about the instant replay? This is so awesome.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
The
truly.
facilities have become top notch.
And the kids are just having a great time.
They are. The referees, by the way, are still conferring. As it stands, it is no goal, but again, there's no instant replay. We get instant replay, but the officials don't get instant replay, so they have to make this call as we take another look.
Short-term memory. I don't know how.
Does that ball cross the line? Here's our best angle. No, I think Gorav Parwal got there. Parwal.
Jay, I don't think we can see the line.
The brick wall. Yes, you can. It's right.
Oh, that's it.
The next installation.
Right on that blue line.
For
No, seriously.
I missed the blue line.
Okay.
the next installation for DAF
Oh, here we
Media.
go. This will be a better angle.
Yes. Does it cross that blue line? I don't think it does. Parwal, monster. FCAC Defender of the Year.
No.
Yeah, and that's the other question that.
Well, he's offsides. I get that, but if he doesn't touch the ball until after it crosses the line.
The first VAR instance on.
No goal. The referee comes over to tell both coaches no goal. John Bradley's talking with the Ridgefield head coach. Oh, now he's talking to our camera. Well, apologize for any fruity language.
Going back to the chair.
back to the chair. Can we get a post-game interview with John?
I
Can we
feel like
arrange that?
with the fan cam, we should be able to. Anything's possible.
The potato can.
Mash.
And we resume play.
I have to say, about 24 hours from now, A5.
And this has really been an A5 performance from Darien tonight. If you really look at it on paper, and that just absolute stonewall defending. It's impressive. I don't know what else to say.
Parwal. If he doesn't have a college offer to play soccer, somebody should give him one.
Yep.
That guy is somebody you want on your back line.
If you're a Millwall or a QPR, you'd gladly pick him up.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Ben Hall.
Great player, great person.
If he didn't transfer, I swear you guys win the state championship. That's my hot take.
We can speculate all we want. No, he was a great defender. Again, you look for, like some of the players out there for Darien tonight, those composed center backs who really are comfortable and calm instead of panicking.
Here's Trevor Pegg. He had the assist earlier tonight. Kicked away. Is it too early to go to the corner, Lewis?
It's never too early in my book, personally. However, it's a risky move. It's a risky move.
29 minutes to hold that line. Bend, don't break, the mentality for Darien's defense tonight. It's the John Bradley specialty. If you know anything about Blue Wave soccer of the last decade, this is exactly the tactic John Bradley looks to employ.
I think a Ridgefield player just got subbed off and came back on. I think more so they weren't allowed to sub then. But look, now Darien's up 2-0, and you see all this pressure that they're applying. I think John's just going for glory here.
Yeah, when you have that cushion of that extra goal, it does allow you to play a little bit more freely, and you're seeing it here.
But Lewis, our freshman year coach, Juan Carlos Arango, he always said 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline, correct? Because you concede one and then panic sets in.
This is true.
Did he say that when you guys were up 2-0 or down 2-0?
Up 2-0.
Oh, okay.
Which wasn't often, but
Wonder what that guy's up to.
Yeah.
look at that.
Beautiful ball.
And he's on.
Matthew Kennedy. He's got to go out wide to chase it down. He's onside. You hate to put their high school officials. I don't want to, but that is the wrong call. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
What?
I think we're getting a
card
card for dissent here,
well,
or at least a lecture.
The card should be, again, we have replay, and he's onside. Clearly, right. I mean, that's not any Darien bias or anything. We've got to view
it's easy. It's easy to get confused when there's players running one way and others another, but he was well on.
Well, and Jay's played the sport before. He knows. So.
I have, actually, and I was going to – thank you for leading me to this because out of the 3 men you're listening to, yes, 2 were captains of the team their senior year, but only one has scored a game-winning goal in a Thanksgiving alumni game.
It's correct.
And it's me.
He's now he's offside on the far side. As Darien hits a divot. No, that's correct. And, not to relive the glory days for Jay, but he started the first half in goal, was pretty abysmal. Turns out to play the fields. Ends up scoring the winner. I think it was in extra time.
It was.
It was a special moment.
Broke the deadlock.
It was a walk-off.
Ran to the corner flag, did the knee slide. You would have thought he's played his whole life.
It was a glorious moment. Mikey Macarone jumping on my back.
Speaking of Mikey's, run into some familiar faces here tonight. Mikey Rizzuto.
Hats off.
Who we played with, and as well as played with his brother, who was on the varsity team.
More of an outdoor soccer player than an indoor soccer player. Lehan boots this one away. Right back to Lehan. He's going to have a workout for the next 26 minutes and change. When does John Bradley start the substitution game? Hey, just go get the farthest guy on the other side of the field.
I don't think he needs to. I mean,
True.
I think if Darien concede one, then we'll start taking guesses on which player will be subbed off, but it'll be Kennedy far side.
Yeah, I was going to say the farthest one away.
He's got a jog.
Darien has been very organized tonight, Lewis.
Yeah, and it is part of the John Bradley strategy. It's organized, it's communicating, and we've seen it tonight, and we've seen it work well.
Yeah, I think when I asked Lewis the word I'd use to describe the game, I'd probably say pragmatic. It's just very well organized, and they came in with a plan, and they've executed on it so far. And you can see Ridgefield's getting frustrated as number 10 just kind of did a crab dribble there on the sideline.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. Ridgefield in the last 5 minutes, you can sense God, we're better than this team, and yet we're down 2-0, and that's when you can get unhinged. The wheels start to fall off rather quickly. And Eric, you were kind of the mastermind of getting under the opposition's skin, causing that frustration.
Yeah, well, in talking to Damien at halftime, he was saying that, Darien's had their fair share of yellow cards, and I reminded him I was there at one point. I think
you led the FCAC in yellow.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's a skill, but I think, if you're doing things within the rules of the game, strong tackles, clean tackles, it can really frustrate the opponent. And, of course, all of my tackles were clean and strong.
Was there a time, Lewis, when even you're thinking to yourself, oh, no, Eric's gone just a little too far on that one?
There were a handful of occasions, but you also need, it's something that also a lot of coaches do tell you is, you got to come out the gate hot, especially if you're playing, if you're defending a striker, get close to them, hit them hard, let them know you're there. And it can benefit you.
Yeah.
That could have been 3-0, by the way. Great opportunity for Darien.
Lewis was looking at his list of my yellow card incidents to refer to there.
Yeah.
So we missed it.
A few pages. Chapter 3.
What does Ridgefield need to do to break down this stingy Blue Wave defense?
I think you just got to go all out, you know, much like Squid Games. Just leave it all on the table. Obviously within the laws of the game. But that mentality of just, you know, do whatever it takes to win because you have nothing to lose. Losing 3-0 is not going to make a huge difference. Oh, what a ball!
James Kennedy put it right on the head of his brother Matthew Kennedy. The Kennedy connection, alas, just misfired. And that would have secured all 3 points.
Yeah, we'll see if we get a replay here, but it was a really good ball right on the head of Kennedy there. Just too much power. And I don't see a path back for Ridgefield here. They're really rattled.
Do not. No.
They're rattled.
Leave the broadcasting jinxing to another broadcast. Although you said they should go all out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all in the attacking area.
Yeah, and Darien, they have more players upfield now than they did earlier in the game. So it's interesting. You know, maybe John's waiting for something to happen from Ridgefield before he makes a change.
I think he thinks, hey, if we get a third, we can kill the game.
Yeah.
The Kennedy brothers have been really impressive on one flanking each side. The wing play has kind of been the difference.
Yeah, it's impressive to watch. They're very athletic, good on the ball, and just really pacey, which opens up a world of opportunities for this Darien side. Ridgefield just trying to stay composed here with the short passing. But again, I don't think these shots from distance are going to make Lehan sweat whatsoever.
He's a really good goalkeeper.
He is.
Really great keeper, and Eric, you kind of mentioned it there. That Ridgefield's had plenty of chances, don't get me wrong, but have they been clear-cut chances? You know, I don't think so.
No.
I think when Darien have had their opportunity, they've really made the most of it. Meanwhile, I don't think you can say the same for the other team.
Yeah, and I think the closest chance came from the referees having to ponder, I don't know what, about that near goal from Darien. Oh, my.
And it's in! A wonder strike! Can you believe it? A Herculean effort! You won't see a goal like that for a very long time. Take another look from 43 yards away. Unbelievable! A spectacular night. Scenes.
Absolute scenes. Absolute scenes.
Wow. That's the goal of the season in the FCAC.
If it's not, something's wrong. The net's still trembling. I'm still trembling.
And here they come again.
Could it be 4? John Bradley's team just expressing themselves right now. Ridgefield came in the top team in the FCAC, and they are getting it handed to them, 3-0.
It's something special, Jay. It's a work of art. It's the Sistine Chapel. It's a Panini of a sculpture.
Oh, my. That is just wow. Sometimes you just have to be speechless, and that is the occasion.
I feel like you had a lot to say there, though.
True.
No, it was a really impressive hit, and Ridgefield's goalie, if you look over, just looks dejected. Yeah.
Here's Fisher Mills, who was billed as the best player in the FCAC. Chase Caruso with the goal of the season.
3 for 33.
He's stolen the show. Lewis Clark has been taken out of the broadcast booth.
9 for 2. Colin McCann.
What a performance. 3-0 and a goal worthy of 3 points, Eric.
We could see 2 more. I mean, at this rate, Darien's going for it. John's looking at his notes. The notes say, this is amazing. We're going to go for 2 more. And I think this is also a good opportunity where he gets some of the younger players some exposure in a big game setting. So.
Wow. That is a goal that will be replayed
Yep.
for weeks and weeks. How about another? Looking for more. I was kind of expecting you to go, is it Phil Neville
Yeah.
on the goal? I think we were just all in shock.
Yeah,
42 yards away. I mean, how difficult is that?
a raw moment.
Yeah, it was a hit.
I mean, we used to practice those with no goalie in that, and we'd be shaking them.
I mean, Darien still putting in the tough challenges. Again, Ridgefield getting frustrated. And that is one replay I am eager to watch at the end of this game.
Yeah, wow.
Could watch that all night.
What's been more impressive tonight, the clinical finishing or the organization and the defense?
You know, that's a great question. I think you have to say the clinical finishing has been it for me. There's something to be said about taking the chances that you have. You don't get many of them, and especially with the way they play, you don't get many of them, and they've taken advantage of them.
Yeah, and just to balance things out, I'll say the defending. It's, you know, to hold a very strong Ridgefield team to 0 goals so far in the game and really frustrate them just beyond, you know, keeping them from scoring. It's a lot of credit to the defense and the midfields, and actually the forwards too, for putting pressure up top.
I agree. I think both areas have been just fantastic.
Jay said it right. Darien really expressing themselves now.
How much confidence will this give Darien as we're kind of in the business end of the season, 2 weeks from postseason play, to kind of push on and potentially win an FCAC or a state title?
Yeah, these are the games you look back to and kind of refer to in your memory, you know, when you're playing those important games towards the end of the season or in the playoffs, you know, under the lights. You've done this before, you can do it again, different opponent, but it kind of provides that foundation to work on.
That's the one thing that's escaped John Bradley's incredible tenure in the last 10 years. Just ending the season on a win in that state championship game. He's been there twice, lost both times. You guys had a terrific run in his first season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, could this be the year? Magic, getting hot at the right time, and certainly you point to a performance like this and go, anything is possible.
We've seen that many a time. You just need to ride that momentum. So this win will do wonders for them in that category.
Can they play every state game under the lights on a Friday night? That, you know, that magic. I just can't imagine in this atmosphere with this great support them losing a game.
There's a huge advantage you're gaining in being here underneath the lights, and it's been proven tonight amongst many great tactics and strategy, but it makes a difference.
Who's been your man of the match?
It's a great question.
Could be many people.
I'll
I'll give you time. Yeah, you know what? 15 minutes ago, I'll give you a couple minutes to think about it. Hey, Caruso certainly had the goal of the match. No argument there. You can make a case for Will Lehan. He's been tremendous.
Yep, he's had a shout. Maybe we can get some voting from the live stream.
Yeah, write us in on the DAF
Fan
Media
vote.
YouTube channel. Fan vote, yeah. I mean, here's the deal. You can make a case for all 11, and that's why the score lines, it was, I mean, take another look at that goal. Oh, my. One more time. We got to show that almost anytime we can.
Here we go.
I mean, just step up, have a hit, son.
I mean, with that, it might just be Chase Caruso.
Yeah.
My man of the match. He's been a rock at the back, and coming up with that.
And the Ridgefield goalie is rattled now. You let in a goal like that, and
I mean, you look in the replay, number 11, looking at the ball, not knowing what was coming.
immaculate. I just best goal I have seen at the high school level ever.
Well, that's excluding your alumni game.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Beat Will Henry Harmon to the back post.
Just time and time again, they've been thwarting them.
I mean, I feel like you could let the defense kind of go over to the sideline, and Lehan would still not let a goal in at this point.
Yeah.
He has Ridgefield's
He's got their number.
rattled.
Gorev Parwal getting stuck in yet again. He just puts his body on the line.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to say, you know, take a 3 stars approach, you know,
Yeah, hockey.
You know, I think you get Chase, you get Parwal in there, maybe number 2.
Bronca.
And then I think maybe you round it out with a little Billy Bronca.
Yeah.
He held
Big
the
game
ball
Bronca.
up. Big game Bronca. He's held the ball up really well, and here you go again.
Number 11.
And bam.
Fire and fury.
Incredible stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
But Ridgefield here have a chance.
But the thing is,
Good header.
they don't, because this Darien defense is so locked down.
They are. And unfortunately, that one was just overhit.
Too much mustard on it.
But they have another chance.
Just kind of launching balls into the box. Time not on their side either. Under 13 minutes to go now. Wouldn't be surprised if Darien adds a 4th here. They've got an opportunity. Streaking downfield to add the cherry on top. Can't control it. Trey DeSantis just lost the handle. And now a hockey line substitution, Lou. You're referencing the 3 stars. They have 4 subs here.
This is also a classic John Bradley game plan here. Let's get some of the kids involved.
He might get everybody into the game tonight.
And I think that's what he does so well, is that he's able to pick those opportunities to make sure that everyone gets in.
You know, I was talking to him earlier, too. One thing that he really prides his program on is if you're a 4-year player and you're a senior and you've come through the youth program, you will not be cut. There will be a spot for you on the team. And I just think in a world where everybody's so critical, and how great is that? And it fosters that community that you were speaking to earlier, Lewis.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have a renewed fondness with the coach. I think we were all so excited when John took over. I don't think we saw that kind of approach with our previous coach of the program.
What
and
was
it made
that guy's
a huge
name?
Nikolai, I can't.
Piperia.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it just shows you what putting a new manager, creating a new system can do to interject so much life into a program.
Yeah, and I think, you know, new system is probably a good way to describe it. I think they're good coaches in their own right. Some things just work differently at different levels, and, you know, I think John's approach for the high school level is really effective. And, you know, Nikolai was a UEFA C licensed coach and had his credentials, and I think, you know, he knows the game really well. It just depends on the level and even the team that you're coaching. You know, some teams are a lot more technical. Your Norwalks, West Hills have those skill players. Not that Darien doesn't have their own skill players, but it's just different.
And is he going for it again?
He did. Why not?
Yeah, at this rate.
Let it rip. 10 minutes left. Can they keep the clean sheet? They certainly are well on their way to 3 points in the top of the FCAC East table. And if this result holds, it'll likely end up being the final game of the regular season when Darien plays Fairfield Ward. Ward's the 3rd team kind of in the mix. It came into the night. Ridgefield 24 points at the top. Fairfield Ward at 23, number 2, and Darien in 3rd at 22. So now Darien will move above Ridgefield. And if they can beat Fairfield Ward on the final day of the regular season, they would be crowned FCAC East champions. Lehan watches that. Whiz wide.
In under 10 minutes now, it will be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out, and if Darien can add another, you get the sense that that could be a possibility.
Replacing Miles.
Is John coming on the pitch? I mean,
Will Harford also in the game.
John was a kicker in his time, wasn't he?
Yeah, like American football.
Yeah,
He
correct.
was.
Yeah.
I believe it was
At Ithaca.
Ithaca.
Yeah. Not a. Is that interesting? I mean,
I think it is.
not a soccer player in college, actually a football player, but ends up having so much success as a soccer coach.
Yeah,
He is a big-time Tottenham Spurs fan.
unfortunately for him. But
Poor soul.
They will lose Sunday. I can guarantee you that. Playing my beloved Newcastle United. But I think, John, if he had to take 3 points Friday night or Sunday, he would take the 3 points that his team had provided tonight.
I would agree with that.
Hey, this is a perfect performance.
Yeah, there's
Truly.
really not to complain about. Ridgefield haven't had much of a sniff, again, aside from that odd mix-up in the box. And Darien just looked very strong offensively and defensively.
Exactly. This is the perfect world situation, right, for the way that he plays. Ridgefield, maybe if they go ahead, that's that kind of changes up the game plan, and they're gonna have to adjust. But fortunately, they got that early goal, soaked the pressure, capitalized when they could, and extended the lead even further.
Lehan's really impressive. I'll take him for man of the match.
I agree.
He just
Pick the
makes it look
pass.
really easy.
Distribution's really good, too. Again, when you're a counterattack team, it all starts at the back, right?
It does.
Caruso! The tackle ends up being a terrific through ball. Out to Matthew Kennedy. Tees it up on the cross. Looking for his brother who can't finish it. The Kennedy connection on fire. Those two just blaze up the wings. Can't get the finish.
And that was a fantastic ball in. I thought the touch may have been a little bit too heavy, but he got there and put in a tremendous ball.
This team has all the makings of what could be a real postseason push here for the Blue Wave. Billy Bronca still on the pitch leading the line.
And you see Fisher Mills just before then just constantly moving. Back and forth, finding space, finding the ball, on the ball here. And the tricks just aren't working tonight.
Oh, my.
A towering
Yeah,
header.
transparent with the audience. We were only given numbers 1 through 44, so 46, who just got subbed on, has been all over the pitch, just had a great opportunity there.
Great tackle.
The back line and Lehan. There's just nothing Ridgefield can do to break them down. Caruso again. He's clearing it, but also like looking, hey, can I launch into a counterattack?
And it's worked quite a few times. And it's working right now. I mean, Ridgefield looked gassed and just dejected.
Darien, another beautiful ball.
Take a touch.
Could it be 4? Well, too much of a touch there from Trey DeSantis. Game's wide open. Darien has to be careful here. Can't lose their shape. Lehan off his line again. I just call him Big Bucks Manuel Neuer.
And here comes another big boot. And he does pick them out so well. He has a target.
Like me at the Darien Butcher Shop.
Absolutely. Straight for the butcher burgers.
You know how to pick it. Oh, well, here we are at the exact same spot where Chase Caruso put it in earlier. Dare he do it again?
Oh, my.
Top, inches away from nestling at the top corner.
And here we go, another line change.
I think, oh, wow. I mean, you're talking real line change.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 substitutions here. Everybody is going to play off the Darien bench, and this is what John Bradley does such a great job of, and they get a huge applause.
See those players off camera are really amped up. They are just so happy with how this result has unfolded.
Oh no, Fisher Mills on the backup back line. Mills denied by Lehan.
Lehan with the save. Ridgefield corner.
It's Will Lehan's world. We're just living in it. Take another look.
Stonewall.
And that's on Fisher Mills, one-on-one, who we were told by John Bradley, one of the best players of the FCAC.
It's a tough angle, but still a great save. Good ball in there, but
it's too much.
Much like a lot of what Ridgefield has done tonight, it's too much power on it, over the crossbar, beyond the last man for the crosses, and Lehan with some good saves has really not been challenged too much.
Here's an opportunity. High pressure paying off. The Blue Wave have numbers.
Didn't quite get his foot through that.
What's your biggest takeaway tonight, Lewis?
That I think they're going to have a lot of momentum moving forward, and they know what they're best at. They know the best formula.
Eric?
Yeah, I mean, there's really, I'd be hard-pressed to pick out negatives from this match. And as we see Darien with another chance, but just goes a bit long. They were strong on all sides of the pitch, and they have a lot of positives to take out of this against what is not a weak FCAC team whatsoever. So I think they'll be really happy with this performance.
For me, as Fisher Mills tries to get on the ball, it's that here we are 10 years later from John Bradley's first season when you two were out there, and it's the same tactics, the same results. He truly has shown once again what makes him one of the greatest coaches in FCAC soccer history.
Tried and tested.
He came in with a game plan. Look, Ridgefield, the #1 team in the FCAC East. It's a game Darien needed to win. And credit the players, they executed, but the tactics were just spot on from the start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have history logs for the FCAC coaches, but I'm certain John would feature in a page in there. He knows how to win games more than anything. That's what he wants to do, and in a sport, that's what matters. So people can complain about the lack of beauty behind tactics, but I don't think he could care less.
And we see Fellaini holding up the ball.
About a minute away from Darien moving to the top spot in the FCAC East. A statement performance in a 3-0 victory over Ridgefield. Maybe they'll add a fourth here right at the end. With under a minute to go, want to give some shout outs to our student DAF Media contributors, our camera people, Kate Bogdan, Ben Wychulis, instant replay tonight, Braden Shank, our director who was phenomenal, Eric Bellingham, and our graphics man, Jason Bellingham. Terrific crew. Darien trying to keep the clean sheet. Boot it.
That was an excellent clear off the line by Matt Reynolds. coming into the game late and doing a big job keeping it clean there.
Look at the Darien sideline with under 10 seconds to go. Look at what this means to a team that is now atop the FCAC East standings. An emphatic 3-0 victory tonight.
Final score, Darien wins 3-0.
And you see the entire team, coaching staff, run over to Lehan. They know how impressive he was tonight. We could see it. The players can see it. Just an outstanding performance as Ridgefield looks completely rattled. Just a huge team performance for Darien. You really couldn't have asked for better tactics and a better outcome tonight.
We'll show you all 3 goals. This was the first one, just 2.5 minutes into the game. James Kennedy got his head to it. And then after that, Ridgefield enjoyed a lot of long spell of pressure. Lewis even used the word dominant. But then Darien got an opportunity on the counterattack. Billy Bronca scored to make it 2-0. You see the two teams shaking hands there. And then this was the goal of the season. Chase Caruso, take a bow, young man. It looks fake.
He just placed that perfectly, got his foot behind it, and again, great goal.
What a performance from the Darien Blue Wave. Lewis, you see the scoring summary there. Caruso kind of putting the cherry on top. It was really the Billy Bronca goal that made things comfortable for Darien.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very deflating, I think, for Ridgefield right off the rip of the half to also get that. Darien struck early in both of the halves, and I think the Chase Caruso goal was just the icing on the cake tonight.
Very hard to come back from that. Like you said, the early goals in each half set the tone, and Ridgefield were just deflated. They didn't have it tonight. I think they were up against a lot, both with Darien's team and the environment.
Upcoming schedule: Darien on the road at Stanford, at Wilton, and then DAF Media will be broadcasting Tuesday the 26th. That game will likely be for the #1 seed in the FCAC playoff. And then you'll have the tournament the week to follow, and then the state tournament as well. One more time, our terrific crew tonight: Kate Bogdan, Ben Waichulus on camera, Braden Shank on instant replay, the Bellingham brothers, Eric and Jason, our director and graphics tonight. Fellas, this is a night I look forward to a lot. Back kind of in our own stomping grounds. Can't believe it's 10 years on, and obviously the soccer program under the stewardship of John Bradley continues kind of the excellence that you guys helped establish.
Yeah, you love to see it, and the game was everything I think we hoped for from the Darien Blue Wave, and some tremendous goals, tremendous efforts.
Yeah, it's always great coming back. I'm glad they still let us back here after a decade. But just to see the program continue to progress in different ways and also stay steady and strong, both with the coaching and the players. It's encouraging to see, and it's great to see fans coming out here on a Friday night. It was a fun night.
We appreciate everybody watching. For Lewis Clark, Eric Cannigan, and our terrific DAF Media crew, I'm Jay Alter, signing off from Stadium Field. An emphatic 3-0 win for Darien.